There we go. Get your head in the clouds. Thank you, Bob. Um, we are recording. Welcome to the 119 release team meeting. I am Taylor Dolezal, and today is July 29th, 2020. Let's dive right into it today. Enhancements update.
Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. So enhancements is green right now. We are tracking 34 enhancements with 9 being new enhancements graduating to alpha, 15 enhancements graduating to beta, and 10 enhancements graduating to stable. And that's all on the enhancement side.
Awesome. Thank you, Nambarun. Any questions for enhancements? All right. CI Signal.
Hey folks, I'm still filling out some of the 1.19 stuff, but it's pretty much the same as master as we're still doing fast forwards, but we are red right now, which is kind of to be expected. If you weren't aware, we introduced resource limits on all the jobs running on community infra, which we expected would cause some issues. And so we've been kind of like ironing those out and adjusting some of them. So if you want to see the PR, it's linked in the notable events. The main one that I am concerned with right now is verify master and also verify 1.19 as you would expect. So this issue linked is kind of a full write-up of what is happening there, but essentially we could bump the memory requests back up to very high, like 42 gigs, I think is what it was passing at. But essentially type check is spiking to do that. Type check was rewritten towards the end of June. And I did some investigating into the metrics before and after that was merged, and it nearly doubled the memory consumption. So there's kind of like a couple of different ways we could go there. We could separate that out into its own job and kind of address that separately to reduce the loss of signal. Or we could revert that back, or we could try and fix it really quickly, but not exactly sure what all that would take. But you can read that issue if you want kind of like a full breakdown, including graphs and that sort of thing. The other one is conformance GA only, and that was having pod scheduling timeouts. So this job has a request that's basically for all of the CPU on a node. So if that's not available, then it's going to have pod scheduling timeouts, as you would guess. However, that's not something that was adjusted recently. That was adjusted maybe a week or so ago, and we weren't seeing pod scheduling timeouts before. So I'm guessing it's likely that other jobs are taking up more resources, and that's thus resulting in this having trouble scheduling. That being said, I did successfully get scheduled this morning, and it's running right now. So we will keep that updated as we observe that. There's some other flakes that were related to a duplicate argument in a recent change to Kubernetes build.py. So that was affecting the builds, and they've recovered pretty well, although Buildmaster had a couple of flakes this morning related to a symlink that had to do with the pod log. So I'm not exactly sure what's happening there, but I'm going to follow up with some folks in SIG testing on that. Other things are just kind of some other flakes we've been tracking that we hopefully can get addressed soon. The cluster API GCP job, the issue that we've been experiencing there that's causing it to fail was fixed, but now we're seeing another issue. So it's not running at all right now. The CapG team said that they would take a look at that today in Slack. So we'll track that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to continue updating the 1.19 section below, but as I said, it pretty much tracks right with master right now. But yeah, we are dealing with expected turbulence here, so hopefully we'll bounce back to looking green like we were on Monday.
Calm, cool, and collected, just like a pilot. Thank you. Thanks, Dan. I did see one question from Jorge about if you could satiate our curiosity on the GIs.
Yeah, so it spikes to just under 46 gigs on type check, and before it was around 24. So actually, when Aaron introduced these resource limits, he was basically just being like super generous, and he put it at 46. Then I looked at the metrics and was aggregating on average per like 5 minutes or something like that. So it was smoothing that out a little bit, since that is a spike on just one subtest. And so I recommended we bump it down, which then caused it to have out of memory errors. So now I think we're at like 24 gigs, which means that it runs everything and then type check fails. So it's better than just nothing getting run, which was the issue before. So, but obviously that is a lot of memory, and we don't want to be doing that. But yeah, so we'll have to see how to address that.
Cool. Thank you, Dan. Any other questions for CI Signal? All right. Thank you, Dan. Bug triage.
Yeah, our numbers overall are slightly down, but the number of open PRs is up. I assume people are trying to, I haven't dug into the list, but I assume people are trying to hopefully close the open issues, working towards that. So otherwise, numbers are for the week ahead about what we'd see. Obviously, we need to close some of these out and move them, but otherwise, most of the obvious issues that should get pushed have gotten pushed so far.
Excellent. Thank you, Karen. Any questions for bug triage? Yeah, I haven't taken a recent look at those as well, but I can definitely help jump in those, and we can get those knocked out if you need help on that front.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you very much. Docs update.
Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's doing good. We are green. The branch dev 1.19 is healthy, and I synced it like last week. I tried to generate the APIs and it ran into an issue where I couldn't pull the references for 1.19 branch from the Kubernetes code base, but the docs handbook is telling that update the field to 1.19, the future release, and try to run. So I saw some errors. I'm gonna sync with Jim Angel today or tomorrow. I know. Saw us post that it's gonna be this last day at GM today. So I'm guessing he's gonna be busy. So if he's busy, I will sync up with someone else from the SIG Docs team. He has been helping out me with all these branch issues or knowledge transfer. So I'm going to check in with him first, and I will keep you all posted on that. Any questions?
Excellent. Thank you so much. Awesome. Release notes.
Hi, everyone. So we're yellow right now because we haven't yet generated the notes for RC3. It's running right now, but they should be up in the next few hours.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Adolfo. Any questions for release notes? Wonderful. Let's go over to comms. Didn't see Max online, but didn't know if someone was on for comms. All right, no worries. I think we're green there. I didn't see anything that would move us otherwise, so keep on keeping on comms. Release branch management with Carlos.
I'm having some issues to unmute myself. Okay. Today we released the 119.0 RC3, and currently we are facing an issue that looks like the API server, the image for the Kube API server, contains like contain the binary with the git commit is not matching with the one we released, and looks like it's getting from the mock stage and not from the actual official stage. And there is an issue that I linked in the meeting notes for we are tracking that, and Sasha did some investigations as well, and Adolfo as well did some investigations. Like, looks like we are getting from the mock stage and not from the official stage. Like, we need to have some more time to debug and see what's going on here. But besides that, everything's okay.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Carlos, and congrats on all your certifications. You keep LinkedIn fun to scroll through, so thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Any questions for release branch management? Sweet. Tim is not able to join us today, but thank you for being an awesome Emeritus Advisor, Tim. My update, I don't have too much for you, just that y'all are doing a fantastic job. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but seriously, that is absolutely the case. There's a lot to get cleaned up and pushed through here in the final weeks of this release. Next week, we start our burn down meetings daily. So we'll just have a little bit more, hoping to have a little bit more signal on that, hoping to be available to help you out in getting things closed out. We are going on that 2-week break after that, starting on the 10th, and then getting back to business on the 24th, I believe. August 6th, we have the cherry pick deadline and test freeze. Yeah, that is it. SIG scalability, there is no update listed. However, I assume it's very much due to the QoS updates, just those memory limits and requests. With testing, I expect it to be pretty much in the same as CI signal. And so I'll reach out to that group and see if we can't get anything added on that front. Open discussion. So we do have our retro link. Please make sure to add anything there if you have not already. And I do see Lori typing out a note. Prioritization sessions results are moving forward. So thank you very much, Lori. Is there anything that you wanted to talk to on that front at all?
Yeah, I mentioned it yesterday at the SIG release meeting and thought I would hear as well, that the results of the breakout sessions that many of us did together a little while back are bearing fruit. So there's some actions and activities in flight at the moment. There was a discussion with Nabru and Tim and I the other day about asynchronous teams. And David McKay, a former release team member, has expressed interest in helping us with that because he actually filed a GitHub issue expressing the need for more asynchronous teams. So I have a lot of notes that I basically need to summarize into some sort of structured proposal and then share it with Nabron and Tim, and then we'll share it with all of you. I just want to make sure my comments on that are accurately representing what they had said. And then the other thing is that there has been a lot of talk about the CI signal subproject, and then just policies around CI, as you all know. I've been spending the day compiling all of the notes from all of the sources where they exist, agenda items, GitHub issues, documents. There's a lot. So there's a meeting later today where many of us will get together and I guess look through all of those notes, but I don't know how we're going to do that because there's like 15 pages right now. So if you have any time, like some of you who are really specialized on this topic, it would be great if you can help look at that document. So I can put the link in here, but basically how can we consolidate some of these items? Because there's no way we can get through all of that in a 1-hour meeting.
No, yeah, even if you read at 2.5 times speed, that'd be pretty difficult.
I think we're saying a lot of the same things, and we just need to have people who can really specifically call out those duplications, just kind of help identify them and then restructure the content so that we have I guess what I would say like an outline of like nested items. What are our high level objectives? And then what are the sub items we would do in support of those objectives? And then what are like the detailed items that we would pursue in honor of those sub items, kind of, you have your big to smaller.
Gotcha.
And there's also questions about what this team owns versus what other SIGs and teams might own. What would the scope of the CI signal subproject actually, what's the definitive scope? We haven't really determined that, so.
Gotcha. Cool. Any questions for Lori on those efforts or anything else going on with kind of the program management for SIG release?
seems like this topic is a pretty big one. Like if we could get it shaped and organized, it would add a lot of, it would reduce a lot of pain for all of you and others. So
Absolutely agree. And thank you so much for doing that, Lori. Chiseling Michelangelo or David from the
That's
much
kind of what it's like. Yes, I'm right up there with Michelangelo. Yep.
Thank you, Lori. Moving on into open discussion. Does anyone have anything they'd like to talk about or discuss? All right. Well, everyone, I wish you all a wonderful Wednesday. I will see you again on Friday. Have a fantastic couple of days, and yeah, keep being awesome. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good one.